Hey guys, how's it going? Jimmy Pitstick here. We're going to do a little acoustic lesson today. What I'm doing is I'm going to show you a song that's very popular right now called Feathered Indians by Tyler Childers. Now what I did is I just tuned, and we're going to put a capo on the 5th fret right here. I want to talk about capos for just a minute because I've been using these for years and years, these Kaisers, and they're great capos. There's nothing wrong with them, but that little spring in there has a tendency to squeeze the strings and make them sharp. So what I've done is I've switched to what this is right here called a shub. Really cool capo, can't go wrong. So when you're playing live, put the Kaiser on, you're moving around. Every time you take it off, you got to retune and stuff. But this thing has a little screw on the back of it right there. And you twist it to get as tight as you want on your string, so it just presses down just tight enough and it doesn't overpress the strings. Now, it always is a good idea when you put a capo on to check the tuning. I always tell my students, I go, look, don't worry about what the letter says, just make sure it gets to 12 o'clock there. Okay, and then you're tuned. Now, I'm going to talk about this song called Feathered Indians by Tyler Childers. It's in D, so if you know your 1-4-5s, that's kind of the Nashville number system. And I used to be able to do this on my fingers, and I would say D is my 1 chord, E, F, G would be my 4 chord, and what would be my 5 chord? A, D, G, and A. So now I have an acronym that says dogs growl a lot. So anytime you're playing in key of D, your 1-4-5 is D, G, and A, which this song is kind of made up with that. Now, what Tyler does is he's got that, what I call Carter picking. I'm using a flat pick, and he's doing a lot of pull-offs and hammer-ons and stuff like that. So you go to your D string, E, A, D right here, and I'm going to hammer on with that first finger. But before I get into all this, I want to talk just a minute about the D scale, because that was a game changer for me. I had a little classical book that I studied, and when I learned the D scale, I was like, oh, I get it. I understand how all these songs in D, while they're playing, how they're playing all these riffs and stuff like Rocky Mountain High and different things by John Denver, you know. So if you talk about the D, open D string, and you play 0, 2, I'm using the 2nd fret and then going to the 5th fret, and you do it on the next string, and then you go right here just on the 2nd string. There's your D scale right there. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, di, do. And just by knowing that little D scale, when I first learned that, I went, man, that's so cool. Because then, now, you don't have to do a full D. Drop your 2nd finger off, and then it allows your 4th finger to pivot. Just kind of playing around with that, but the bottom line is that is where your D scale comes from. If you do a drop D, like if you drop this down a whole step, then you've got a whole cool thing going on there too you can kind of play around with. But anyway, getting back to this Feathered Indians. So what Tyler does is he hammers, and then he takes his 4th finger and puts it right there on the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4th fret. So he's hammering, and I'm hitting 2 strings here. I'm hitting the 4th string. We always count from the 1st string, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the D string normally when it's not capoed, and I'm hitting the G string together. And then I'm putting that 4th finger right there on the 3rd string, 4th fret. So I'm going hammer. I'm just putting 2 fingers on here like a D, taking the 2nd finger off, because that allows this finger to pivot, the 1st and the 4th. So you're doing a hammer, and then a pull off here, and just get that down. And you can kind of just play with this right hand. And then he goes from there to the G. Goes to the A. And I'm hitting that root, the A string. And I'm doing a power chord instead of, you can do that, but what he's doing is going, so I'm playing the, and I'm taking my 3rd finger and putting it on the 4th string going. So then a pull off. Then he's going to a G chord right here, and he's kind of hammering on that fifth string, but you can just drop both those together if you want. And then he's going from that, he's taking his first finger and moving it down to the fourth string and using that fourth string and doing a little up. I got to play it in real time, but now Tyler's got these real long fingers and stuff. When he does that little, you can just come off that G chord if you want and go like this. What I did there is I just took the first finger, hammer, pull off. Sometimes I'll do that because I got the band playing before me. Now this is a great song because I played it at a gig recently in the local bar down here, and all the 20-something kids will be singing all the words to it and stuff. So it's a great cover song to be able to play. Well, my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh. There are little feathered Indians where we tussle through the night. If I'd known that she was religious, then I would have came stone to the house. Such an angel, too messed up to get back home. And then that repeats, so you kind of get it. Anyway, a lot of things kind of went over here in a little small lesson. Have fun. Feathered Indians, you might change a couple words in there when you're playing to the family crowd. So that's what I do. Blessings, folks. Have a good one.